But really, I think as we've started now, I have to make mention of why I'm here. And I'm not quite sure. The fact is that I don't really, and never did really know anything about ice cream. I'm an enthusiast, of course, a passive appreciative enthusiast. And in fact, I think a lot of people are probably getting quite used to hearing me talk about things I know very little about. I mean, last week it was tarot and cartomancy at the Camden Arts Centre. And I kept calling cartomancy necromancy. I wasn't on top of my vocabulary. But ice cream, I'm slightly more familiar with the vocab. The thing is about this day, I will introduce the band. You can see I'm not alone. But somewhere in the promotional material it said that I was going to discuss the dark side of ice cream. And I think that came from me mentioning the research project of the once Margaret Hilda Roberts of Grantham, who, as you probably know, was a chemistry student at Oxford in 1947, a sort of austerity job. She worked for Lions and saw how much air could be pumped into ice cream. Actually, if you look on Google, that great demystifier of any good story, there is, you know, a suggestion that this was rather too convenient for left-wing people to enjoy the idea of that once chemistry student who then became Mrs. Margaret Thatcher, known as Milk Snatcher. It's rather too convenient that she was the person responsible for pumping as much air into ice cream as was possible. And then there are people who will tell you, Mrs. Thatcher is not Mr. Whippy. You know, there were plenty of people finding out how to pump air into ice cream long before 1947 when she got her austerity job. But that is, I would say, that counts as the dark side of ice cream, as does another story that in my notes, I filed it under Apparition Whip. No, that was Mrs. Thatcher's story. I called that story Apparition Whip. But the other story involves my very beautiful goddaughter who was asked to pose with other photogenic children, particularly those that represented multicultural Britain, in a photograph about 15 years ago when the then Prime Minister Tony Blair visited their inner city primary school, and they were all issued with very charming looking plastic ice creams. And when the photo shoot was done and the then Prime Minister Tony Blair left the school, the ice creams were all collected up. And I said to Farquhar, were you given a real ice cream? And she went, no. So that says a lot. I think those two ice cream stories are enough to be going on with in terms of politics, ice cream, and the dark side. Of course, I was invited here via Gareth Evans, who doesn't really want to mention, but I have to mention him because he sent a poem by Wallace Stevens. I don't think he sent it to me. I think he sent it to Jem, but I read it. And then in return, and I can't remember which poem he sent, I called him the Emperor of Ice Cream, and he called me back the Empress of Ice Cream because he'd invited me to do this ice cream thing with Sue. And I was a bit like, why me? Why ice cream? Why not? And I was delighted to meet Chris Conway of Sunday Sunday. And if you've been down to Sunday Sunday, you can actually see this wonderful ice cream or you can actually taste this wonderful ice cream called Rooty Tooty. And it was so named by myself because my only time in Whitstable has been in a booth, shall we say, of my own devising, performing my one-woman Punch and Judy show called, this is all about me, this bit, the Cabinet of Horribly Violent Glove Puppets. And I was invited by the artists there with Rachel House, who is actually a local. Anyway, I don't think people like being outed, but I was delighted. I was over there somewhere in my booth, and that day I brought down deck chairs, and a rather strapping lad of about 40 fell through one of my deck chairs, and he went, "You've got woodworm, missus." And that was brilliant. And people thought he was a plant. It couldn't have been better. He was totally Seaside Postcard. And if you go to Sunday, you'll see in the window seaside postcards and a little seaside postcard movie based on a true story where, as a child in Felixstowe, a very unspoilt child, I have to say, there wasn't much sugar given to us then, in those days. I had a rare treat, an ice cream, and I chose a green one, and I didn't like it. And I said to my mother, I don't like it. And she went, well, don't have it then. And went, oh, and threw it behind a hedge. And there was screaming from behind the hedge. And it was an elderly couple enjoying relaxing in the Spa Pavilion Gardens. And suddenly, green ice cream landed, as my mother said, in the gentleman's private parts. Well, he was dressed. Anyway, in this 1 minute, in the programme it says 10 minutes. I think I was thinking of an epic when I was first going to make the film, but it is 1 minute on a loop. You will see a version of that story where the great Andrew Cotting performs the old man and I am the old woman. Andrew, who's rather, I don't know how he felt about being invited to be the old man, said he could get an old man's mask. I said, not necessary. And he grew a moustache. Anyway, I'm in my old woman's clothes. These are my clothes. And the fact is, I don't think it's any harm in being old. I'm young old, I'd say. That's how I self-identify. Anyway, so you can see this story. It doesn't actually include a child in it because I thought that would be problematic. It was very problematic for me. I remember it, my mother dabbing away at this man, and the wife saying, it would be slightly more useful if you offered money for the dry cleaning. And she was going, I'm so sorry, dabbing away with a cloth. Anyway, here we are. And in the spirit of the Emperor of Ice Cream and Wallace Stevens, I thought I might just read you this poem, especially as I've learned how to say concupiscent. No, concupiscent. Concupiscent comes into this wonderful poem, which is really about death in many ways. And so mysterious that I've never really understood it. I just understand the first verse is about sexy life, ice cream probably. And the next is the cold ice cream death, maybe. Terrible, terrible. I'm not here to ruin poetry for you. But I will just read it, and then, because I've got it here. And I love Wallace Stevens, and it's, I don't see, oh yes, there is the Emperor of Ice Cream. And anyway, it's a good poem on this day because I was thinking at 5:30 in the morning when I woke up in a terror because I was coming here to do something, and I didn't know how it was going to be. I learned of the death of Muhammad Ali, and when I was about the same time as I was not enjoying the green ice cream in Felixstowe, he was my hero. It really did say that in the obituaries and the immediate responses to his death, that he was sort of everybody's hero at that time, which was the early 60s, and onwards, obviously. And, yeah. Anyway, I just am somewhat confused by what I'm saying now, but it probably because it sort of struck me. I'm not one of these people who joins in these great, I don't know, sort of, in a way, communities of pain over people I haven't known. I'm sorry they've gone, but I didn't really see them every day. And I can still listen to the music, like Prince or Bowie or something. But something about Muhammad Ali, who I called Cassius Clay, and actually my father called me Mrs. Cassius Clay, because I loved him so much. But, that wasn't to be. Anyway, here we go. The Emperor of Ice Cream. Call the roller of big cigars, the muscular one, and bid him whip in kitchen cups concupiscent curds. Let the wenches dawdle in such dress as they are used to wear, and let the boys bring flowers in last month's newspapers. Let be finale of scene. The only emperor is the Emperor of Ice Cream. Take from the dresser of deal lacking the 3 glass knobs, that sheet on which she embroidered fantails once, and spread it so as to cover her face. If her horny feet protrude, they come to show how cold she is, and dumb. Let the lamp affix its beam. The only emperor is the emperor of ice cream. Beautiful poem. Hope I haven't ruined it for you. I think it should be in a sort of soft American voice. Oh, well, Wallace Stevens, what a guy. Anyway, now we're going to sort of hand over to the band, the iScreamers. I think I must actually introduce them. I think everyone, virtually everyone who came early, kissed Jem. I said, oh, Jem, please, it looks awfully sort of lovey-ish. And then I said, if you don't know Jem, please feel free to come and kiss him. Because I don't like dividing an audience between those who come kissing us all and those who think, who are these people? Anyway, anyone who wants to kiss Jem, this is Jem, and he is going to take it away with the first song. And I will just introduce, before he does, the great band collected together here. The fine artist, fine pianist, Sam Willen. Woohoo! On bells, Olive Butler. My friend Debsy, vocals. I asked Debsy, can I show off about you? She said, oh, but she's so used to me showing off about her. Debsy, well, I'm shy. Debsy, formerly of one of my favourite bands ever. In fact, I was a fan before I actually met her, the Dolly Mixture. Oh, Dolly Mixture, I've got it wrong. My favourite band, what was it called? Dolly Mixture. And later you've got a great treat, which is Debsy singing Happy Talk, which she sang with Captain Sensible and Dolly Mixture back in the day, and in her, inimitable style, Ducks and Frocks. And, oh, I could go on and on. But here's Pete Fraser on sax and top brass. And we are very, very glad he's here because he now has moved, as many have, to Scandinavia. These sort of new Scandinavians, they're coming. I don't know. We're losing a lot of good people to those parts. Anyway, that's nothing to do with ice cream. I did mention Chris Conway absolutely interpreting Rooty Tooty, because I did say, because I must be careful I get all the information in, I did say that, didn't I? Performing the one-woman Punch and Judy show over there, thanks to Rachel House, some years ago. So when I came to be invited to, what was I invited to do? Invent an ice cream? I thought, well, here's a title, Rooty Tooty, because, of course, Punch. Rooty Tooty, Rooty Tooty. I couldn't actually master the swazzle. You have to apparently swallow the swazzle 3 or 4 times before you're a professor. So actually, I just sort of approximated the swazzly voice. Oh, look what I've done. I can't do it now. Rooty Tooty Toot. Right, so, and that actually ties in with the Andrew Cotting as the old man, because he filmed that. He slowed me down, though. It's a very, very slow version. Anyway, hence thinking of a red and white striped ice cream, but Chris Conway of Sunday took Rooty Tooty back to its roots and thought the red stripe could be sarsaparilla, which is obviously a very old taste. He said when he gets old people in his shop and they drink a bit of sarsaparilla, it takes them back to the East End when it was really a very different place from today. And people loved a little cup of sarsaparilla. It was apparently a favourite flavour of the Temperance Society members. And the white or off-white flavour, can I give the secret away now? Ginger. And it is delicious. So there's a collaboration between an artist of cool confection, Mr. Chris Conway of Sunday, and myself, somebody who knows very little about ice cream, as I hope I've stressed. Now I've said enough. I think I've said it all. Jem Finer.
Hi everybody, we're the iScreamers. I'm going to sing to you about the ice cream man.
You can dance if you want.
Ice cream man on my street. I heard your truck outside, it's really neat. Ice cream man up on my block. Your little chimes, they reel and they rock. Ice cream man, ring your bell. Play the music that I've learned to love so well. Ice cream man, ring your chimes, ding, ding, in the afternoon, so fine. Ice cream man, on my street, I hear your truck outside, it's neat, 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 neat. Ice cream man, on my block, your chimes, they reel and rock. Ice cream man, ring your bell. I heard your truck outside, lovely ice cream smell. Ice cream man, upon your street, I really love your chimes, they reel and they rock. Peace. Ice cream man on my street, I heard your truck outside, it's neat, 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 neat. Ice cream man on my block, your chimes, they reel and rock. Ice cream man upon my street, I heard your truck today, it's really neat. Ice cream man, come ring your chimes.
After the next one.
In the afternoon, so fine, yeah, 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 yeah. One more time, everybody. Ice cream man, come ring your bell. Play the music that I've learned to love so well. Ice cream man, come ring your chimes. In the afternoon, so fine.
Lovely. I just thought, oh my goodness.
I tried so hard to learn those words.
No, it was wonderful. I mean, I could tell from the audience reaction they loved you as well.
Well, I don't.
And
Let's not get carried away.
no, let's get carried away because by the end of this we want a lot of noise. Ah, here's another person of that time that was Millie Smiles. Do you remember? Smalls. Millie Smiles. Another of my heroes. Now.
Okay. Give me a note. Lovely. My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You are as sweet as candy. You are my sugar dandy. Whoa, oh, my boy lollipop, never ever leave me, because it would grieve me. My heart tells me so. I love you, I love you, I love you so, but I don't want you to know. I need you, I need you, I need you so, and I'll never let you go. My boy lollipop, you made my heart go giddy up, set the world on fire. You're my one desire. Oh, lollipop. I love you, I love you, I love you so, but I don't want you to know. I need you, I need you, I need you so, and I'll never let you go. My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up, set the world on fire. You're my one desire. What my lollipop, what my lollipop, my boy lollipop.
Come on. Now, ice cream painters, have a break. Here we've got some ice cream. The first called Rooty Tooty. And what would be a nice musical interlude? Have you prepared your church ice cream van music? Okay. I did ask, I commissioned a composition that obviously hasn't happened. It was actually thanks to Olive Butler, and I'm going to just reveal that she's my relation, my granddaughter. And we heard an ice cream van going past once, and she said, "Is that a church?" And I thought, how very interesting. She'd never been to either. And I do remember actually my father being very embarrassing in ice cream van queues, saying, "Only buy something that's wrapped. The tubes are filthy." And all the other people being quite put off their treat by this what depressive physicist. I haven't got. Oh, I have got a spoon. Now, if you, there are for fortunate audience members. Who would like to be a fortunate audience member? Okay, I'm seeing now. Would you? I have to go to children. I don't have children who like me. Would you like to pick it out so you don't know where my hands have been? One. There's a pole each for them. That's for the stock painters.
Take them for an ice cream after this.
All right, have you all got adults at my duty? I've got one more. There you are. There you are. There you are. You could use your spoon. Oh. No. You can't have that. It's a child. Child. Oh my goodness. Lots of children. What's sorry, but any adult will have to hand over. There are some children in distress. They might not like Rooty Tooty. It's very good of you, Hannah. Okay. All right, settle down. Okay, all right. Is everybody enjoying Rooty Tooty, the ice cream? Well, I mean, not everybody. I mean, they can't. That's a really very pointless question. Are all those who are eating the ice cream enjoying it? Amazing. Any other adjectives? Any other adjectives? Any other superlatives? Yes, quite concupiscent. Concupiscent. That's quite a sort of saucy word, isn't it? Now, okay, this is a bit of quiet. So if you've all got your ice cream, and you could just lick, nice, gorgeous. That was a lovely word from the back, gorgeous. Well, There are two good words, amazing, gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Well, you haven't had it, have you?
I have. My mum gave it.
Okay, all right, well that's great, fantastic, that'll do. Now, here is Debsy White, and now there's another word I never know, a cappella. All right, a cappella means you have to be very quiet. There's a lot of ice cream murmuring in that corner. Hush now. And here is Debsy.
Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about the moon floating in the sky, looking like a lily on a lake. Talk about the bird learning how to fly, making all the music he can make. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about the star looking like a toy, peeking through the branches of a tree. Sorry, I started it a bit low. Talk about the girl, talk about the boy, counting all the ripples on the sea. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about the boy saying to the girl, golly baby, I'm a lucky cuss. Talk about the girl saying to the boy, you and me are lucky to be us. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? And if you don't talk happy and you never have a dream, when you'll never have a dream come true.
Absolutely wonderful. I can't, oh, thank you, Debsy, because she does it pretty well every year under, she says she doesn't want to, but for my birthday, and so wonderful. Thank you. I'm actually lost for words, you might be glad to know, so maybe we should go into the next song. Now, there's a song in the 60s that not many people have heard of, called Popsicles and Icicles. And when I first heard Debsy's voice in punk time, I thought she's like one of the mermaids. They're called mermaids. I don't know if you've heard Popsicles and Icicles. Anyway, Debsy, you didn't know it, did you? No. So for this, she said she'd have a go. But this is all a bit like, wow. So.
Okay, guys. Let's have an intro, guys.
Icicles, baseball and fancy clothes. These are a few of the things he loves. He loves Levi's and brown eyes and flowing through his hair. These are a part of the boy I love. If you put them all together, much to your surprise, you'll find a bit of heaven right before your eyes. Bright stars and guitars and drive-ins on Friday night. These are a few of the things we love. Maybe silly, but still he is the one I dream about. Yes, he's the boy that I love. If you put them all together, much to your surprise, you'll find a bit of heaven right before your eyes. Singing and guitars and drive-ins on Friday night. These are a few of the things we love. Maybe silly, but still he is the one I dream about. Yes, he's the boy that I love. Popsicles, icicles, popsicles, icicles, popsicles.
That was fabulous. I think that I've just seen Tony Grisoni looking somewhere else, wandering eye. Yes, back here. No, it's perfectly all right, because I was just about to mention your Christmas party, the Cabaret Melancholique, which is apparently going to be no longer. Tony Grisoni and Brian Catlin have been hosting a Christmas party for many years. Every year I do exactly the same thing in the spirit of the pissed aunt that really relieved us all of the most tedious Christmas times ever. And her name was Marcia. And now I've got a summer story about Marcia, is that she, like me, was not the one for an even suntan. I remember once actually Jem drawing a map of all the different sort of places and colours, you know, on my body. There was right red and quite brown and white and all this. And actually, this isn't oversharing, it just really is to sort of, because some of you might not know this at all. You might just only know how to sort of get tanned in one sort of swoop. But anyway, Aunt Marcia, on a family holiday in Dymchurch, so not so far from here, shocked the children by pulling up her swimsuit and saying, "Do you want to see?" No. You hand them out, yes, just in a minute. Can I just finish this? Thanks, though, that's very good. She said to the children, "Do you want to see Neapolitan? Have you heard of Neapolitan ice cream?" And the children, it was actually children, it was in the early 50s. It was my brother and sister and her two boys said, yes, they had heard of Neapolitan. She said, "I've got some." And she lifted up her swimsuit and showed these 3 stripes. White, kind of bright pink, I think, and then brown. So basically, she'd been wearing something like one sort of swimsuit, higher swimsuit, got red, and then underneath was white. And they were so shocked, they never got over it. And those were innocent years. things happen to those children, but never mind. Anyway, there was a story. I just thought I'd mention Aunt Marcia. She's somewhat in my mind every time I do anything. And now also, because I do and did really like the mayhem she caused on nearly every occasion. It wasn't that easy for her, but it was a great relief for the rest of us. Anyway, in the spirit of mayhem, the last song, which you might know from 1925, Ice Cream for Ice Cream, I call it the Pennsylvanians, but I think it's Waring's Pennsylvanians is the right name for the band. Don't worry, we're not going into the first verse, which is not something people will sing about these days. And if you don't know the first verse, don't worry, we're not going there. We're going into the very, very, very much better known chorus, Ice Cream for Ice Cream. And I'm really hoping at this point people will be very loud and shout, because one of my favourite scenes in movies of all time was in Down by Law, when in the prison scene it starts the chanting Ice Cream for Ice Cream, and then everybody, are you familiar with that scene, starts banging and shouting. So suddenly this kind of like slightly summery, silly song becomes a real call, a resistance shout, really. And for the purposes of this event, I've invented, you know, I'm just going to say this, not to advertise my brilliance or anything, but just you might not be familiar with this particular verse, Rooty Tooty, Big Bambooty, go and get yours now. That's just to advertise Chris Conway's marvellous ice cream. And we are going to now sing along. If you're a bit shy to begin with, bang something, or I don't know if I've got any metal things to offer.
You've got one tambourine.
One tambourine. Come on, Olive. You can really let go now. You've been marvellously serious there.
So what's happening?
Good question. I thought I made it abundantly clear. And also, I think we're basically, you'll be glad to know, because, you know, people sometimes say we don't go on too much, you know, you've got 10 minutes or 2 minutes, I can't hardly say hello and it's over. But this one is an hour outside, and I'm going to bring this baby in. Yes, and but I really think we can't go till you make a lot of noise. I know that I don't like putting pressure on an audience. I hate it when I'm in an audience, but you know, just for the sake of the kick-off of the Whitstable Biennale, you know, anything for Whitstable. Yeah, could you start soon?
Yeah, but doesn't the noise happen at the end of the song?
Oh yes. So glad Jem's here. As he's reminded me, you don't have to make a noise at the beginning, of course not. Just listen quietly, enjoy yourself. And then shout out. We'll, you know, when the spirit moves, the noise.
It should all become clear.
Yes, it should be.
In the very careful arrangement we've
One
made
thing,
of the song.
I had a lot of information about ice cream that I haven't served. But I do want to tell you a bit more about Chris Conway, because he is famous for making oyster ice cream. I've never eaten an oyster. I was offered one by a friend of Jem's who had a big pile in front of him, and he was slurping on it. It made me feel a bit sick, actually. And I said, oh, I can't, they're a bit, and he went, what, life size? And I just find them they seem very alive, oysters, and I know people love them, but he said people love them oyster ice cream. And do you know another ice cream he made? Marmite. Yeah, Marmite. He might put it on his toast every morning. Boom! Thank you, Olive Butler. Yes, he might have it on his toast. Anyway, I can't say I've tried that, but anyway, that I think, because I've got all this information to hand out, but that's enough. As long as I've got enough that I feel you know about. Do any of you know the shop Sunday? Yeah. Well, actually, I've learned a lot about ice cream and lots of other things to do with flavours and the fashion for flavours. And somebody researched, actually it was the wonderful Matthew de Pulford, Ta-da! Not here. I have to say, Matthew's a brilliant person who helped a lot with everything, and he researched that green ice cream I ate in Felixstowe in 1961 or 62 maybe, and he said it was pistachio, of all horrible things. Anyway, now, Jem.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to shout. Two dogs, if you want.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. Tuesdays, Mondays, we all scream for Sundays. Sis, boom, ba. Boola, boola, sarsaparilla, you got flake, we'll take vanilla. Rooty tooty, big bang booty, come and get yours now. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. Hey, woo. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. Tuesdays, Mondays, we all scream for Sundays. Sis, boom, ba. You got flake, you got flake, we'll take the noodle. Rooty tooty, big bang booty, come and get yours now. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. Tuesdays, Mondays, we all scream for Sundays. Sis, boom, ba. Boola, boola, sarsaparilla, you got flake, we'll take vanilla. Rooty tooty, big bambooty, come and get yours now.
Whoa!
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah.
We could do one of those.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for
Why
ice
not?
cream. Rah,
Conga, come on.
rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream
Come on.
for ice cream. Rah, rah,
Find out.
rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah.
Participation.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Come
Rah,
on.
rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Rah, rah, rah. I scream, you scream, we all